Greetings. Welcome to Maizy Lou Farms. I'm not going to do the usual, which is this farm here. I'm going to go and set up a farm here. I've already bought these fields. Changed the crop on this one. This one has already been harvested. Gave myself 10 million. We're going to set up the farm today. And go from there. Basically, just going to give a rundown on how I would set this farm up. If I get a bunch of interest in it, I'll make some more videos. Generally, I do a lot of my videos are change the layout on a farm the way I would want it. A little bit of playtime, and that's it. If I ever gain traction and I start getting some more interest and people want me to play a certain map further, I'll do that. Right now, one of the things I really enjoy is setting a farm up the way I would want it. Now, if any of these programmers and stuff could fix that, I would appreciate it. The trailer tilts the wrong direction when you do a sharp turn at speed. It should be turning the exact opposite, leaning the exact opposite direction. Needless to say, if you've got something on the vehicle, it doesn't do it as much. Now, this map, especially this particular farm, as you can see, there's a lot of steep angles around this farm. So we're going to be doing modded tractors with more horsepower. So I cleared everything out. None of the buildings are here. Got rid of all of that. So I'm going to start with, okay, for some reason when I hovered over that a minute ago, it didn't register right. Okay, let's go about there. I think a pretty good set. Now, I know I'm going to do cattle. I'm contemplating horses on it. Let's just go with cattle for now. So we're going to put this one down. About here. We're going to do a fence line. I like those wildflowers, so we're going to keep them. And we're going to give the cattle the pond. Let's go up just a little bit further. So it's more of a straight line shot across. All right. So I Personally, I think the cattle would like that. You got a nice little area. You got a tree in there. You got the pond. Oh, we're going to do that again, aren't we? Ah. Okay, we're going to go to my fallback for this particular barn. Since it wants to give us an issue. Let's go a little bit bigger. Smooth that all the way out. Okay, so the barn is set. Now I'm thinking about doing the barndom. I don't want to go and place it up here. Because if I do horses, I'm thinking about putting them over here. And I want to keep access to that pond open to be able to fill up our water tenders. Then, you know what? Let's get the house away from the cattle smells. And this would actually be a fairly nice location. We won't have a drive-through on this, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Might have to take out a tree on that. Let's go walk up and take a look. And the main reason I put it up there is the RP aspect of it. Actually, yeah, I'm going to leave the truck out of the area we're going to put all the buildings. But definitely could easily get access. And what I like about this is we've got this wonderful view of the valley with the house over here. This is the bedroom with the sleep trigger. For some reason, I thought there was a way to walk out to like that side patio. So the sleep trigger's here, but the room clothes changing is, I think, in that room, and that's the restroom. If you've not seen the Barndom mod yet. So yeah, I think this is a nice little view area. We can see the whole valley, everything going on. So yeah, that'll make a good house spot. And of course, we've got 4 bays of garage. We're not going to deal with that one. But the downfall I have on this is not wide enough to put like the gooseneck trailer. And that exit door, you have to exit, walk around outside of cover, and come in your front door. I would like it if this was the width of the main building. On both sides. So the bedroom, so the width of the bedroom to this. Then you could have a door in this area to gain access to the house. Right now, it's the end of the barn is about here. So a doorway would be where the refrigerator is. I'm not 100%. Let's take a look. Grab this again and just see. Get a rough estimate. The width of the building. Yeah. If it was the width of the building, that trailer would fit in the garage. You wouldn't be able to have a truck hooked up to it, but the trailer could be dropped in this garage instead of the implement garage that I'm going to be putting in. So, next item is going to be in tools. It is the American Midwest Maintenance Shop. And I'm thinking about placing it in this general area. I think this light pole is in the way. Yeah. Okay, so if we place it down about here, that gives us the turning radius to be able to pull vehicles through it. So let's go ahead and set that down. In this location. Like so. And we'll do all the cleanups later. This would handle most of the storage we would probably need. Because I don't think the other go-to I do a lot of is going to fit. And that is the big drive-through garage. No, we could put that here. I think that's going to be enough room. Yeah, that'll be enough room for our semis to be able to make the turn and do everything else that's needed. Boom. And that's kind of what I was expecting. Now, yes, I know we're basically blocking these doors, but I'm not worried about those doors right now. I don't generally use those particular doors all that often. Let's go here. Out to about there. Well, this is going to go and stay out of the way. And we'll smooth this off now. That's, yeah. That, I do believe, is good enough to go in and out of that final bay. All right. So those are two main sheds. And I think the only things left that I'm going to want is I'm thinking about putting that right there. And this is going to be some implements will be stored in here. Plows, lime spreaders, seeders, planters will probably go in there. Most of it will be going between these two buildings, but that will give us any overflow that we need. Okay. So I can already tell I'm not going to be doing, I don't think I might not be doing any greenhouses at all. On the way I'm laying this out. Unless we put a couple greenhouses, you know, in this area. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's go with the primary things I need. So we're going to want this. We could fit that right there, no issue. And we're going to. And then we're going to get this guy. Fit him back over here. So that will handle silage, everything else going there. Okay, so minus a couple incidental things. Okay. Do we want to put horses in? We could put see this horse barn. Like here. Actually, we're going to want to go over a bit. Let's actually go over some more. And let's put it there. And then we're going to do this chicken one right here. And the reason I went this way, yeah, definitely enough room, is I wanted to make sure we had the necessary space to put a manure set up there. So we'll have chickens, horses. Oh, did I pass it? I scrolled right past it, didn't I? Yes, I did. Oh, that's right. I don't care if it overlaps. That'll work. Those only go, you can't rotate other than 90 degrees. That's all it is. So, and I didn't set that fence line up to be 90 degrees. So let's see. Yeah, that area is restricted. So we could easily put several greenhouses along through here. later on if we want to add greenhouses to this farm. And that's kind of what I was worried about. It didn't glitch me on that. But I was inside that bin. Okay. So we got all of that, all of that. Now here's where I have to do the most contemplation. Which way do I want to do a lot of stuff on this farm? Because it decides, there's a lot of things to be decided. Before we start getting equipment, let's look at our field sizes. So this one is going to be joined with this one. So about 17 acres, 21 acres, 21, almost 22. We'll eventually probably get 4, 7. Okay, so most of our fields are in about the 20-acre range. That's going to come into play a lot with when we're going to for fertilizer spreaders and stuff. But I think I'm going to go a hybrid version, a hybrid mix. Okay, yeah, we're going to go hybrid. We're going to get this guy here with the agriculture frame, the big engine. I think it's those tires that I like. No. The bigger fuel tank. You know what? I'm going to do the front hitch because there's some options we've got down the line. Looking good. And we're going to go with it being the light blue. Well, whatever blue that is. I think Coldhofer blue, I think is what it's called. Yeah. And by this, so I don't get ahead of myself, I want to get our connector. And here's another part I was getting to. You've got, this is boosted, and then you got the unrealistic on the volume. I'm thinking we're just going to go at this volume. We're going to go with the support arms. I prefer that cage. We're going to go this, and this. All right. So there's that. And we're going to run with this. I'm going to be doing another startup on Hazel something. I can't remember what it is. Irish map. This is the sprayer I'm using. The issue with it is a 7-mile-an-hour speed and only 24-meter spread. So it's going to take you time doing bigger fields. So what I'm looking at is that has 12 more meters of spread reach. This one, of course, has a lot more reach, but we're not going to use that kind of spreader. About the same speed, though. We're not going to run the lizards unrealistic. It's a 42-foot spread. It does have pulse width and weed seeker capability. That would give us 28,000 liters of capacity on the fertilizer, which is more than that one carries. Yeah, I'm really wondering, I might want to go this route. And I hadn't been keeping up on this stuff. At 7 mile an hour, 42-meter spread. This one extends, nope, it's 36 meters only, and also 7. You know what? I'm going to test this one out for my bigger field maps. Because I'm kind of worried about a 42-meter spread. A lot of times you get hung up on trees and stuff alongside your fields. That is going to be interesting. I'm going to hook up to it. Oh, so before I get too far along, we do need to add 2 things in the construction menu. But that's a lot of fertilizer we'd be able to move with this setup. I'm liking that. Okay, so the things I forgot is a fertilizer, tank, a multi-fruit buying station, and I use this one because I want, if multi-fruit buying station had one that did not give you a discount, I would run that one. 60% discounts is just too much. Okay, those 2 are in place. We need this also. Boom. Okay. So those tanks are done. We don't have to worry about any of that. And with the Unimog, that eliminates my medium duty tractors. It will do everything we need medium duty wise. And what I'm looking at, which is a fallback to me, I always go with my mods. I want the speed. I want the power. We're going to do Dutzfa 1,000 horsepower. There's no extra cost. With weights. I'm going to go standard design. I'm not going to go the Warrior design. That light and that. You know what? I'm thinking about it. I think I am going to go with a medium duty tractor along with everything else. We're going to go with this one. And usually on my hiccups, I want the EU for this higher trailer point. But with the US makeup, your pin for your standard type trailers is so much further out, you can actually turn with some types of trailers sharply without your tracks hitting them. We're going to go max weight, tint. And we're going to go with all the accessories, and we're going to keep it company colors. All right. So I said, I think I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. We're going to go with the JCB. This is primarily going to be ran on the farm. But I'm still going to go and mod it all out the way I usually do it. I'm not going to run the ag frame, which I usually do, because with the ag frame, you can put a tank on the back of this also, just not a very big one. That's going to be it. What this is going to primarily do is move a couple items around the farm. I am looking at being mostly realistic on capacities. So we're going to be needing bank out wagon for 2 reasons. But not right away. And we're going to go ahead and get those 2 unrealistic trailers right now. The first one is this guy. And this. And that's all I'm going to do on that. And yeah. I'm tossing some stuff around in my head. This can, one of the options on this is off-load auger. So you could fill this up with seed or fertilizer, you know, to top up your planter or seeder. While we're here, let's go ahead and pick this up. And unrealistic. Rest of it can stay the same. So these are going to be used with cattle, doing cattle stuff only. So moving the manure, loading up the straw, hay, and everything else. So we don't have to do multiple trips or a trip for every item every month. We can do it every couple months and just restock it. All right. So all of that is in. And we're just going to go ahead and put you in your cubby hole for now. Fertilizer, those tractors. All right, next item up for this is going to be. All right, we're going to run this. It is going to be unrealistic, but it's going to be at 10 meters. What we're doing is we're eliminating an extra step when we're harvesting our grass fields. We are going to go unrealistic on this. The reason we're going to be unrealistic on that is when we do go out and do contracts, we don't have to keep coming all the way back to the farm or somewhere else to drop off the straw. The reason I went with that is that's 9.4 meters. That's 9.9 meters. You got 7 meters on that one. And then you've got 27 meters with that. So there are setups like either of these can go and give you almost 10 meters of spread. Now, this cannot pull the auger wagon, if I remember right. Yeah, auger wagon needs a PTO. So that's why this is set for 10 meters. It's just eliminating one step. We won't have to go cut the field, windrow the field, and do all of those other steps for the grass. And we're not going to be using bales. All right, we're going to get this guy because I am using the mod that allows me to direct drill with this unit. So we're going to run this with this. So what that gives us is, I don't remember the exact ratios, but generally with most fields you're planting, you run out of fertilizer before you run out of seed. So we'll haul fertilizer in that while we're pulling this, and that will allow us to do a lot more before we have to refill. All right, that one there. Running out of places to stash this stuff quickly. And the reason I'm going that route is purely we'll be planting barley next month. planters are mostly springtime kind of crops where you plant in the spring. So we don't need the planter right away. Next thing we're going to need to do is the lime spreader, which is going to be unrealistic. And I do this more for I don't particularly like doing manure spreading, but the capacity is the prime reason I do the unrealistic. Oh, dang it. Same price tag. I could have done this one. We've got the unrealistic capacity on this one also. Dang it. All right. Let's get our plow. I am going to run this one. This is a good one, 27 meters wide, but there's issues. Almost 28 meters wide. It turns horribly with most tractors. The tongue isn't. Let's pull it up. Because there's no single shaft on this tongue, this interferes with tires and treads really quick. So your tractor only gets like a 10, 15 degree offset to the trailer before it's binding up. So I don't want to run that one. If I am on a map with big fields, I run this with an 8RX because that gives me the best turning radius possible that I have found. Please comment if you know of a better turning radius than that, but that's the one I know of. And I just realized that the game sounds might not be actually running. We'll find out here shortly. I'm going to go here, and we'll just leave it at that color. Okay. There are some game sounds. They're just very quiet. And I don't have it set up. So hold on just a It might be quiet video because I'm not going to reset it now. I'll check the video afterwards. Alright, so let's get this guy just drug up over here. This can get put here. All right, so lime, fertilizer, seeding, done. We've got the tractors. All right. Yeah, okay, we're going to go with the combine. We are going to run the Colossus, but we're not changing capacity. That will give us 25,000 liters. I am going to bump the horsepower up one stage because of the hills. I like US because it eliminates a cage back here. That bugs me. We don't need a long pipe, so that's it. Oh, wait. One extra level on 10. And if I decide later on, I might go and expand that. Actually, let's do it this way. It makes it a lot easier. Combinations. We're going to go realistic header. I had an issue with this on another map where this was not hooking to the trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and do it with dolly wheels. US design, brand, that's it. And then this one. That's it. And this. Spare wheel. We're going to go dark. Actually, I'm going to go light this time through and then dark. All right. Oh. Nice. It threw it all the way over here. I was half expecting this to fall and go to and to get dropped at the actual shop in town. Throw that right there for now. Hop in this guy. All right, so this, I'm actually going to flip it around. Set you know what, let's go ahead and take it down. We'll take this down the field. If I can fit past the truck. Yeah, I'll be able to. And this is a heck of a hill when you got a load on. All right, so I'm going to flip this guy around. Bring him up here for now. So we picked up 66 more head of cattle for the pasture space. All right. Done. Everything's looking good. Yeah, okay. So, move the combine out of the load zone. And I'm thinking we're going to go back through, make positively, make sure here. Okay, we've got that. You know what? Let's go ahead. Pick that one up. got a plow. I'm not going to do disc harrows and stuff like that. We don't need any of that. I've already got my pickup truck. We're going to be doing a semi here shortly, but that will be loaded in at the shop and we'll just drive it back. Not going to need any other trailers. We are going to do this auger wagon. And let's see what color options. We'll do the Demco blue. All right. That auger wagon is going to be used during planting to haul fertilizer. Or it's going to be used to haul seed, and that's going to be used to haul fertilizer if we actually end up needing to carry both. We'll get something extra, we'll get something else in. Do we have, we don't have this yet, right? No, we don't. Working with, we're going to go 25 meters. We're going to just, the amount of time it takes to do stone picking is massive. I'm just hoping that this isn't one of the maps that stones don't spawn when you plow the fields. Let's see. Got that stuff. We've got that. We've got that. I'm thinking we're done equipment wise. No, we got to get our chainsaw. You have to have a chainsaw. We have multiple wash points, so we're not going to get that. We're not, well, I should say we're not going to get any kind of pressure washer. I usually don't need flashlights. Let's get a couple counterweights. I want to go with this one. Biggest, yeah, that one there. That one there. You know what? Let's go. I didn't realize there's this many of them. Well, let's go ahead and just go that route. Grab two. We'll eventually probably use them. So this guy can get thrown over here. This guy will probably sit in that covered area down below. This will definitely sit in the covered area down below because both planters and seeders will be down there. All right, done, 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 done. Get rid of the delivery point. And we're going to go and get this stuff going. Like I said, these are going to be unrealistics. I prefer that, that, that. that. Hitch, tipping options, fast tipping, and grain door. The biggest thing I get upset on this is this blue. That thing is so chipped up and the paint's so messed up in like no time. In under 2 hours in like 2 to 3 hours of use, you got paint chips all over this thing. That bugs me bad. Bad enough that I've been contemplating to actually get one of those mods that automatically repaint your vehicles. All right, that's the lead trailer. Okay, with that weight set up, it doesn't give it to me. All right. Let's go with that. I don't think I'm ever going to go with a triple, but we'll have it there if we ever do. More likely it would be used to move something else with it. All right, done. And we're going to go up to 379. And this takes forever. I wish there was like one more slot where you could choose, you can change from 6x4 to, between the types. And then you go through the configuration of said type. That's what I want, 8x4, but not that sleeper. Do, do, do. And we're going to go with that. You know what? We're going to give this guy the most horsepower. Visor. Yep. Yep. Fenders. One over. Yep, that one there. That one. That one. The arrow. Tint. Yes. Because in the States, it's illegal to have a truck without those. Not going to use the window chopper. We're going to go that extension set. Cab protector. I wish these lights would do turn signals, not just running lights and brake lights. Should be running lights, middle is brake lights, and then right and left turn signals. I'm going to run side lights. I'm going to do this combo this time. I change the paint job up on this from time to time. Same colors, just different locations. Usually I'll have a dark blue stripe and light blue, or a couple other things than that. Brand is going to be the dark blue. And this is our semi. Okay. Before I do the next order of business, did I download that mod? No, I didn't. I did decide not to do it. Okay. And the mod was the 60s, 70s Mustang. All right. That's all going good. Let's go and do an inventory. All right. I'm thinking we've got everything. We've got our fields. I want to say, yep, I did soil sampling on all the fields. So that's all done. Oh, that's what we're going to do next. Okay. Before we get rid of the cache, we're going to go in here. And I am just going to spawn stuff in to get these running. All right. And fill it up here. Down. Fill vehicle. Straw. Some of the maps, when you spawn in, there's feed and the cattle areas. Some don't. I just do this to make it easier, and I don't have to wait months to bring cattle in. All right. Fill. So we have and since I didn't convert any of those fields to grass, getting grass in, yeah, we could just pay for it and use up, the rest of this money. But what I do is actually, I turned a little too sharp there. Did I pass it already? I think I did. Oh, really? It actually is quicker going the opposite direction. So with this cattle barn, all we've got to do from here on out is make sure these things, uh, mineral feed, silage, hay, straw, it keeps topped up, plus the straw in the barn. We don't actually have to mix TM bar and uh, bring it in here once a month or every other month. All right, that's that. Now we're going to come on down here for this guy. I left that pond open. Let's see if we can actually do what I'm hoping for at that pond. If not, I know where I can. Beautiful. All right. Oh, oops. Last time I played on this map and I had a farm here, farm production was right here in this corner. I had a map laid out different, so I went to the old place. Okay. So this will fill this guy up. This, this, this. Right there. All right, so this guy is primarily going to be left over here because it will, unless we get some greenhouses in, it will primarily be only used for slurry more than anything else. So we drop that off right here. And we're going to get one more thing delivered. Field vehicle. All right. So that is it for prepping the farm. We are going to load it up. 250 of those. 250 of those. 250 of the Angus. And 250 of these guys. So we're not going to get milk right away. Because of a mod I've got running, I have to breed the animals before I can get milk off them. So that's realistic. Actually, let's do it the rest of the way this way. Animals, okay. Cows are done. We're not have pigs. We don't have sheep and goats. We might add some sheep, but it's not a high priority. Horses. I like grays. Let's do 2 of those. I've always really liked palominos. Chestnuts. The Seal Browns. And Duns. So that takes care of all of that. And then chickens. Let's do 250 at 6 months. 250. Let's go 500 young ones. A single rooster. That's got to mature for the 6 months. And we'll run that for the chickens for now. All right. So we got chickens going. We got the horsies, the cows, and such. All being nice and purty over here. Yeah. Moo to moo to moo. And we've got the final thing to do. Other than, of course, field work and everything else. It's going to be 2 things. One, oh wait, it's not there. It's this one. This. We're going to do a doggo And I feel like okay, we're going to go with the Border Collie, and I'm going to go with the Merle. Boom. Viking! How's it going, Viking? Grab some food. Alright, you can't have a farm without a farm dog, especially if you got livestock. Let's see. That's all that. I'm thinking... open this one. This one. International. And if you missed it, yes, I do have the 1500 horsepower motor in this CV. All right, we're going to have this guy parked right here. The biggest issue I have with this is with that bed, you can't adjust the deck of this gooseneck right. It gives you options for 2 different adjustments. I could only get one of them to do anything. So, kind of stuck with it. All right. We will probably end up getting a step deck for the semi. Okay, seat position first. That is correct. Hitch adjustment. About there. Lift the tag axle. Yeah, definitely have the clearance. All right, so that is our hauling setup. It's not the setup I ran when I did grain hauling, but I like it. I used hopper bottoms. So what I'm thinking right now is all right. Someone's wanting to talk to me. All right. Let's go ahead and put this guy right here. This Z. I have a feeling it's my roommate's girlfriend, and she is doing a space. She's sending the text after every single line in communication. All right, let's go with this guy. We're going to go over here because I want to do a test. Because I've done a bunch of different maps starting them up. And a lot of maps don't give you field stones when you plow. And if I'm not going to get field stones when I plow, I don't want to have periodic plowing turned on. So I'm going to run this guy down. And just take a chunk out of that field that was already harvested. Once I confirm my settings. All right, confirm the settings. Here. Everything's turned on. Field stones. Beautiful. That's all I was worried about. All right. Oh, that's why. Whole bunch of stuff's going on. Group chat was started. All right. I am going to call this one here. And y'all have a good day. And see you next video.